Obviously, I'm a white guy, right? So let's talk about race, racism, racist, roots, reading, that kind of stuff, I guess, maybe? I'm going to do a series here on this topic, so this is just the first one of many things I'm going to say. First of all, we say that I do appear to be a white person, a Caucasian person. There's different words for me. In Hopi, I'm Bahana. In Hawaii, I'm Haole. In Panama, I'm a Gringo. To the Lakota, I'm Wasichu. To Ojibwe, I'm either a Mukoman or Jaganashi. Yeah, okay. And so I'm a cracker, I'm a whatever. Oh, also in Panama, they call me a Robbie Blanco, all right? And, it's my outward appearance that you're looking at. I'm actually 85% European. I am American, so I'm a European American. I don't like the word white because, there's a lot of white people that don't have my points of view. For example, if you're a white supremacist or a white nationalist, I don't share your point of view. The movie Roots, we find out that race is the root. A root that you come from. My main root is European. A broad range of European, what are countries today, ranging from Portugal all the way up to the Nordic countries over to the English Isle group and over into France, Germany, Spain. My European roots are wide and varied, but I've done the DNA on two different companies and they correlate pretty well. So let's say, what did I say, 85%? I really, 80% of me is European. 15% is Native American from the Stockbridge Munsee Band of the Mohican Nation. And I got a percent of Jew, Ashkenazi Jew, a percent of Malaysia. Where did that come from? Probably from the Portuguese exploring back in 1530, excuse me. They ended up in the Malaysia area and stayed in port for 30 days. So you know what happens when sailors are in port for 30 days, right? And then I have 1% African from the slave trade, not from the Horn of Africa, but from the Guinea area. Probably again from the Portuguese who began the black African slave trade. Oh, what's the other? Oh, yeah, Neanderthal. Yeah, I got 247 whatever markers for that say I'm Neanderthal. And so my recommendation is if you're a white supremacist, don't get your DNA done unless you want to broaden your horizon or maybe change your point of view. I also don't care for our hyphenation of, I'm Asian American, I'm African American, I'm Native American, I'm Latin American, and then the rest of you guys are white, and we should be called European Americans, I guess. But again, these are such broad categories. There is no such thing as a uniform Latin American or an Asian American or a Native American. Within each of those groups, there are broad variations. Native American term actually comes from around the 1850s, where there were Americans or people that were born in America. They were angry at the foreign people coming in from mainly Europe, also China, but I mean mainly Europe. And they became the Know Nothing group. You'd ask them a question, they'd say, I know nothing, I guess. So the original term Native American is not about the original Aboriginal people that came here. Almost everybody is not 100%. I mean, there are groups that are, we believe they're pretty close. So say in Iceland, some Finnish, you look at genealogical breakdown and they pretty much get pretty high in the 90%. I looked up also, I was concerned about this. I looked up how many races there are. And back in the 1990s when I was studying some of this, I found a book that said there were like 65 different races. Well, if you look online, most people have broke it down into four main races: Mongoloid, Negroid, Caucasoid, and Australoid. That doesn't quite fit other groups because, and then that particular group breaks it down into 22 subgroups. But you know what? There are other anthropologists that say, there's over 500 different races. Take your pick. Whatever you're into, I guess that's what you think is right. But still, there are many thousands of variations of skin color, hair texture, eye color, the shape of your head, and these other kind of things. All these different variations are in what I'll call the human race, and I don't want to get too bogged down on that either. To say something like my background is Africa, well, Africa is a huge continent also, and there are many variations of so-called races in Africa. There's no simple answer to this question. Take the word racist, for example. If I'm a specialist in something, that means I know something about a certain area. But does racist mean that I know something about race? No, the connotation is that it's negative, that you don't like certain races, whatever your race may be. Because even other races or other groups or other cultures of people have words for all the other people that aren't like them. I have found this topic to be intensely interesting. I will make more videos for a while on this particular topic. For example, my wife from Panama, we did her DNA. Turns out she's about 1/3 Caucasian, probably from Spain, 1/3 Mongoloid. Well, sorry people, I mean that's the way the Native American classes are put into, the Native American groups are classified under the Mongoloid group, of all things. And because there are genetic relations and stuff like that. And I'm not here to argue one way or the other. And then her other third is African of some sort, probably from the slave trade, from an actual slave group that came over, to do the sugarcane plantations or something in the Caribbean or wherever. Basically, everybody has different roots. You can get into the love of your group and things like that. I know one person who grew up thinking from northern Minnesota, grew up in a family that actually the parents actually came from Sweden. So he's Swedish, and I guess he did DNA and it didn't show him to be 100% Swedish, and he said, I don't care what the DNA says, I'm Swedish, So I mean, whatever floats your boat, whatever tickles your pickle, eh? Well, okay, let's talk about race, let's talk about ethnics, let's talk about breeding, let's talk about whatever community you come from, cultural part, because there are something like 5,000 races on planet Earth, or 5,000 cultures, or quite a few thousand languages that are still alive. So it's quite a big ball of wax. Talk some more later.